Welcome back in the next video. Today we've got FIIDO 10 amp version. So we'll do long range test. It will be the same road like I did with Xiaomi FIIDO. So it will be around 25 kilometers. 70% will be all-road and 30% will be really hard off-road. My weight is around 100 kilograms, so I'm quite heavy. And also I added backlight because FIIDO don't have it. And this light, I link it in the description, is super nice. It's super bright, as you can see. And also I added Martian light, front light, because the stock light is like doing shit. Check this one out, and we will be in super dark forest. Check this one out, it's doing shit, but when I turn on this Martian, oh, I have to connect the power cord because it's using external battery pack. Check this one out. Ta-da! You can see everything, so this Martian light is quite dope. But I didn't fully charge it, so I have to save some battery. Of course, we will use only pure electric power without any pedaling. So, let's go! A little bit of throttle and it's going easily. Yeah, today is a little bit cold, and as you know, when it's cold, then the battery capacity is also decreasing, so hopefully I will back to home without pedaling, but we'll see. Today is like maybe 7 degrees, my nuts are freezing, so let's go. So there is lots of mood, as you can see, because it's keep raining all the time, so it will use extra battery power. So Gilbert's in the description says that this bike can go even 40 kilometers of working range. I will be glad if it will be half of this, like 20 kilometers. As you can see, this bike is quite powerful. Some kind of small heel crimp isn't a big deal for it. One thing I don't like in FIIDO, because we don't have a little bit more advanced LCD screen, so we should see how fast we are going and how much juice left in at least percent or in voltage, because this 4 bars actually doesn't work at all. Because you will see later when we will be like at half of the battery and I add full throttle, then the battery will go down to empty. But if you know what is the voltage, then you know exactly how much juice left. So no worries, bros, this bike isn't slow. I'm just using like 20% of the throttle. I am sure if you will buy it for someone, or if your weight is around 60 kilograms, then the working range will be at least 30% better than with my heavy ass. With low throttle we still got 4 bars, a little bit more throttle, like half. Whoa, bike is quite jumpy, but yeah, we are losing juice. So let's leave it at 20%. It's fast enough. Okay, so now we are around 8 kilometers later. And we've got like 75% of the battery left, so it's not bad so far. But this is just beginning of my ride, and my ass is really freezing. It's so freaking cold, so hopefully the capacity of the battery will really not drop down so badly. I am sure that most of you bros will ask me, what is better, FIIDO or foot scooter like Xiaomi FIIDO? And here is, I think, simple question, because if you are using bike like this, you cannot enter to most shops or car centers with a bike, because this is still a bike, isn't it? So this is really pain in the ass, because you have to leave it unsecure somewhere nearby, and when you are back, then at least in Poland it's quite a big chance that it will disappear with some part of the wall, because this is not simple bike. So yeah, next thing is that the working range, I think, is even with this 10 amps will be a little bit lower than with Xiaomi 8 amps battery capacity. But here is also a pros, because when the battery die over here, you can pedaling and back to home easily. With Xiaomi, it's not that easy. Couple months ago, I did like now some long range ride, and I took wrong turn and I just go out in other city, and I have to use my leg for only 15 kilometers. Can you believe it? And it was really pain in the ass. So in this case, bike is way better. Well, it could be even better if this FIIDO could have regenerative braking, but as you know, it has not. So this is really, I think, big con, because now when I leave the throttle, the battery is not recharging. Of course, with Xiaomi scooter, it's recharging, and even with Xiaomi bike, I forgot the name, but it costs two times more than this FIIDO. But I did review, as you know, about the FIIDO 7.8 amps version, and I noticed that this 7.8 is like a little bit more punchy, maybe because the used lions inside are a little bit better discharge rate, because mostly batteries with higher capacity got lower discharge rate. So yeah, it could be the case, but I really feel a difference, because when you hit over here full throttle, it's not like you feel that you have to grab the bar, because it's just accelerate just normally. But with this 7.8 version, the acceleration is quite rapid, like in some racing bike. But yeah, this 10 amps is still not bad, because we should expect a little bit better working range. So far we've got 75% left. Next thing is that it could be handy to have some app for the FIIDO, because the FIIDO for some reason doesn't using any app, so we don't have any extra system built in which could work with the smartphone, which is quite sad, because we could know exactly how much juice left or how fast we are going. But we got this handle for smartphone, and we actually can only charge the smartphone, which is not bad, but I would love to use some app. So I hope that next generations of FIIDO will have some application support. Have you seen this newest foot scooter on gearbest, which can go even 100 km per hour? The working range is, I think, 60 kilometers, and it's using two motors. I think one got like 3000 watts, so this is a beast actually. I have to order this thing, but the price is like $2,000. It's like, oh my god, but I think that this thing is worth every single penny. We've got like 3 lights on the front, of course 1 or 2 wheels drive, yeah, this is how it's called, and we can switch between the drives, so we can got only back wheel drive or 2 wheels drive, which is quite nice to have that kind of feature where we can switch. I think it has not regenerative braking, which is of course again quite sad, but it has 2 hydraulic brakes, which is quite awesome. And of course we've got suspension on the front and on the back, but this is nothing new, because this is off-road beast. It looks insane. Actually, I cannot wait to test this thing, to touch, to own it, because yeah, I think it could be hell of fun. Like, we could go over here now like 60 km per hour, not like 15 with this bike. Okay, can you see this small crossroad over there? This is the point where we have to stop, because my ass is on fire next to this seat, and I will turn on the extra light, because you will see that this building into FIIDO is like doing shit. It's like you are just visible for other drivers. But yeah, it's not too bright actually. Okay, So bros, off-road time. Oh my ass, holy shit. Okay, so we have to connect the light. Yeah, I mounted the extra battery pack on this phone holder, and actually, as you can see, it's working perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go. Oh, battery is going back to 100%. Actually, this is a joke. Okay, just check how dark it's over there. Check this one out. I can't see shit, but now, yeah, that is huge difference. Maybe 50%, even 50% is good enough, but fuck it, 100%. So I will turn on the FIIDO right, because as you can see, I turn it on. It's like doing shit. Ooh, it's pretty scary. Fuck me. Shit, it's gone out. Blair Witch Project, honestly. Okay, yeah, the ground is super wet. Lots of mud under the leaves. But actually, the tires in this bike are freaking awesome. They are pure off-road tires. No way that your wheel will slip on the gravel. Okay, so let me turn off the light. FIIDO light. Are you serious? I can't see it. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that's why I recommend to use extra light like this Mars sign or what I have. 6,000 lumens, bros. This is great power. You see actually everything. Is it no one behind us? Like no demons, no ghosts. Like I said before, I am not afraid about the humans, because you know what they can do. I'm quite a big guy, so yeah, let's roll, bro. But I am afraid about the freaking ghosts, demons, because you have no idea what that kind of thing can do to you. And this is what we are always scary. We are not scary about what is happening now. We are just scary about what gonna happen. Like, if you have some driving test, then you are scary about this. But when you are in the car, then you are just doing this shit, eh? You know what I mean. Okay, so we'll be some bumpy road. Yeah, the brakes in this bike are freaking awesome. They are just dope. This is the best brakes I ever found in cheap bikes, because when I racing in downhill a long time ago, then I have to say that most of bikes over $1,000, maybe $2,000 at least, doesn't have that kind of good brakes like this FIIDO got. It's like you are touching the brake and the wheel is stopping, like one finger, and the wheel is stopping. So yeah, these brakes are freaking dope. This is the best part of this bike, the brakes. Okay, so here you can see some nice lake. Now it will be bright, but this is the silence before the storm, bros, because when we go away from this lake, it will be like 1 kilometer later, then it will be dark like in the ass. If this is a proper sentence, you know what I mean. It will be really dark. Okay, so let's use 50% of the light. We don't want to blind someone on the front. Yeah, this light is insanely bright. When I test this one, and when I been on opposite side, I just had to use my hand because I couldn't see shit. For me, the best light on the market for this price. I spent on it like $22 in promotion, and of course Black Friday is coming, so prepare your cash, bros. Prepare your cash. Okay, so it's showing that we are between 50 and 75% of the battery, and we are like maybe 11 kilometers later. So I think this is not bad score so far. Bike is still powerful. It's okay. Okay, some nice flat road. Oh, yeah. And if you will think about some upgrades for this bike, for sure, change the seat. Oh, my ass is really on fire. So now it's getting a little bit darker, but there are still some lamps, so not bad. Over there, as you can see, it's super dark. Ah, shit, let's use full power because I'm using GoPro 6 and SJ8 Pro, so these cameras are not the best for night ride. The video sensors are not the best ever. Ooh, here is even spooky. Okay, so like I said, over there, check this one out. It's super dark. Of course, we have to go over there. That will be a fun. Yeah. Oh my god. I think I will cut this video into short version and long version. Or maybe to one. We'll see. Okay, so now we are going into the forest. Now it will be creepy as fuck. Okay, no one over here. Just darkness and the forest. I hope that some Blair Witch or other witches got holidays today and they will not try to eat my delicious ass. I am living in the center of the city, and when I'm in the forest I can smell this specific smell of the forest, like, you know what I mean. You can even taste it. It's insane. I love it. Ooh, it shows for a second that we had only 25% of the battery. So it was okay. So let's go right. It's much darker. Yeah, the ground over here is much more red. I feel the mood sometimes. It's like slowing down the bike. Okay, so now I'm using 50% of the throttle to achieve the same power like it was on 75%. So the Lion's batteries are with lower voltage seriously losing discharge power. So that's why I prefer lipos, and if you ask me, I love lipos from Hobby King, graphene version, not any multi-star or other stuff. Because if you will charge graphene's lipos to not more than 4.1 volts per cell, then that kind of battery will survive over 1500 charging cycles, and it will lose not more than 10 or 50% of the capacity. So graphene lipos for me are the best choice, like honestly. Lions are not bad, they are cheaper because they are in mass, they are massively, oh shit, so they are in mass production, yeah. So yeah, but if you are looking for insane power all the time, then only lipos. That's why I using in my skateboards only lipos, because even simple 2G lipo, if you are charging to around like 4.04 volts, then you are losing only around 15% of the full capacity. So you still got like, whoa, so sleepy, this wet rocks. So you still got 85% of the capacity, and the simple 2Gs will survive like over 500 charging cycles. But you have to, oh shit, there is something. Whoa, check this one out. Lots of funny jumping things in the forest. Why I stopped? I am at the middle of creepy forest. Go, 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 go. So yeah, even 2Gs are not bad, but I prefer graphenes because you got full power all the time till battery will die, and this long lifespan is just insane. Of course the price is quite higher than even expensive Lions, but with lipo you've got really full power all the time. It's like, as you can see now, it's showing between 50 and 75% of the battery and full throttle, and this bike is really accelerate slowly, like honestly. It's like I feel 50% less punch than on the fully charged. With LiPos, you've got almost full power to, I think, 10% of the battery. So yeah. And of course you can add some BMS to LiPos, Lions, because it's working at the same voltage, so between 3 to 4.2 volts. So I am now quite impressed, bros, because we just goes out from this forest and we still got, like, it's showing more than 50% of the battery, so I am quite impressed. Like I said, today is wet, it's cold, and my ass is quite heavy. Maybe even more than 100 kilograms with my clothes. So good job, FIIDO. And this bike, well, it has not this insane punch, but it's really not bad. So you know what, let's go a little bit longer way, because we will not go straight on the left, so the shorter way, but the longer way. So we'll go into next park, which is like 5 kilometers extra. Okay, so now we are going through dark park. I have no idea where in this park is no light. This is quite a huge park and there is not even one lamp. What the hell? So let me use full throttle. Oh, but it drops to 25%. It's showing that it's almost empty. So maybe use like 60% of the throttle like now. Yeah, it's like maybe 70% of the throttle. Did I say that this seat in this bike is super bad? If yes, I didn't lie. Oh shit, I had to stand because I cannot sit on it anymore. Check this one out. No single lamp in this park. I think this is the best spot for some date with a girl, because no one can see you. Maybe that was a plan for this park. Okay, where we are? Just to the left, yeah. You can't see shit, I have no idea where to go. Okay, so here we got some small lake on the both sides. There's the right. So FIIDO, you really did an amazing job, because it's showing that it's empty, but it still accelerates pretty nice. Yep, good job. And pure electric power, bros. Pure electric power. Nice. So I think at that point we are at least 18 or 20 kilometers. So yeah, working range on this 10 amps version is really not bad. When we back it will be around 25 kilometers. Okay, now will be quite big hill climb, and if this battery will survive it, then I am even more impressed. Full throttle. Wow! You can hear that the motor is saying that battery is dying, like. But whoa! We are still accelerating over this hill. Now it's slowing down. still not bad. I didn't expect that I would enjoy that much simple ride through dark forest on the bike, simple electric bike, but actually I did enjoy a lot. So off-road for this bike is like nothing, so especially on-road is like nothing for this bike. So I am really pleased with this thing. Let's go through the grass. Not bad. Yeah, as you can see, it shows that battery is empty. But when I release the throttle, it's showing 75%. Oh my god. So yeah, that's why, like I said at the beginning, that some kind of LCD screen which showing the actual voltage of the battery will be much more handy. Because you have to know just that the voltage is between 32 volts and 42 volts. And you can do some calculation, like when it's 38 volts, then you are at half. Full throttle, no joke. There is going nice. Green light, can you manage it? Full throttle. Come on, FIIDO. Come on, FIIDO. You can do it. Push it more. Oh, yeah, you can't. Okay guys, so actually battery die in my SJ cam, so I think that it will die in GoPro 6 soon. I'm quite sure that I will back to home because it's showing like 15%, 50 or maybe 40% of the battery, as you can see. So it's really not bad. Check this one out. Full throttle of course is dropping, but I am sure that I will back to home. So I am quite impressed about the FIIDO bike, the working range. It's really nice, and with, like I said before, with my weight, today is cold, so battery capacity is decreasing, and it was wet. So I can say only good job FIIDO. I really recommend this bike so far. I've got other one, as you know, the 7.8 version. It's still working super nice. So this is all what I can say. This bike is dope. I like it. So, what do you think about this episode? Show some love and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Okay, how to back to home. Let's go over here. Off-road. Nice. And there we are, bros. Start position, all big something on the road. Acceleration is still not bad. Full throttle. Yeah, so I really recommend this bike.